What's going on? This is your boy, Kizzie K, and I was able to get my hands on Project L. I was very surprised. We're going to go ahead and talk about 3 characters that I got a chance to play. Let's talk about the universal mechanics in this game. So you have super jump, you have forward jump, back dash, you have run, you have wave dash, right? So wave dash, how it works is if you press 2 buttons, or they do have a run button. If you press the run button, if you tap it, you can like wave dash. Another one is called retreating guard, and basically what retreating guard is while you're actually pressuring people, the defender can actually guard out of pressure and have like upper body invuln, but it loses to lows. Obviously, retreating guard seems very good like mid screen and things like that, or if they try to hard call you, and if they try to hard call you out, you basically can get punished. So push block costs 1 bar. Press forward, press light and medium, light punch, medium punch, and you'll be able to push and block. But they have buttons, they have inputs where you can actually use the push block, which is relatively your dash button. So now we have parry. Parry is also interesting too, because parry is basically like the big read move. If you hard read like something and you parry them, it like launches it and it allows you to get like a crazy combo. It's a low parry and a high parry. If you use a parry as a whole, it costs 1 bar. And if you are successful with it, you get the bar back. They hard read you and you miss, you just lose a bar. And you get punished really hard. So there's the get up attack, where basically while you're getting hit, you get a knockdown. If you like hold the button, your character does like a get off move. We have air recovery, throw escapes, quick rise, and back row. And obviously for the normals, you have light, medium, heavy. There's only 3 buttons. And then usually characters' launchers is down 4 heavy. You have 2 specials. You have special 1, S1 and S2. You have throw. You have critical strike, which is when you press the heavy button, if you hold it, you become red for a second, and you basically hit your opponent and you're like massively plus. And you could dash afterwards. So that's a scary mechanic as well. You have anti-air, which most moves have like, if you're in the air and they're coming in with a jumping attack and you do your anti-air, most likely your anti-air is always going to win. So we have tag launchers. So like something like older games like Street Fighter Cross Tekken, you have your launcher. You have quick tag, which is basically you just immediately like tag them in. You have assist action. So you only have 2 assist action, which is back assist and forward assist. Another thing that's pretty interesting too is you have charge assist. So you can actually charge your assist, which is pretty cool. Your character will basically, like your assist character will come out and it'll just be like running. And basically, the moment you release it, it'll like come out. So when you see characters assist just kind of just running in and not doing anything, it's because they're charging the assist. Handshake tag, like you tag in and you kind of do a move and then you tag out while you're doing like special moves, so to say. Even just normal moves into special moves, you can like tag in your teammate and then like they could do their assist and you could tag them in. I think a lot of people are really gonna like that just because of like options to like do mix-ups and cool things. And then you have last stand. So last stand is pretty interesting. So basically, if your assist character is dead, or if your tag character is dead, or your second character is dead, if he has 50% health, he gets like a last stand tag, which is basically forward assist or back assist, but it's like a super strong assist. It's like super powerful. Sometimes you get crumbles and like it does like all the cool things basically. You can't use it as often because it comes back every like 10 seconds. And like regular assists, most assists are usually 2 seconds or 3 seconds. And then we have dynamic save, which is your burst. So when you have one character, if you have this bar, which is going to be below your health, it's going to be like a greenish bar. Once you see that max, you can like burst out of like combos. Or even you can even burst. You can even just burst even if you just want to. You just use it if you want to. So let's talk about Ekko. Ekko is such a cool character. This character basically has like a rewind mechanic. He uses a cool lot of like cool after image while he's doing attack. So he'll do like his special, his S2, which will basically do like a strike, and it will create an after image. And you can make a choice whether if you want to do a follow up, or if you just want to let the after image play out and then you just go back to neutral. He has super cool projectiles. His projectile, which is his time winder, basically if you hit it while it's later in the active frame when it's out, basically when it's like kind of like stagnant and not really moving, if it hits the opponent, they actually freeze. It's pretty sick. A lot of like tricky moves. So another thing too is this S2, you can like charge it. And what it does is like when you charge it, it changes the properties of your after image. So if you just do a regular after image attack, the follow-up will always come out as a strike. But if you make it as a charge, it comes out, but it's not a follow-up. It's just like a quick after image. So he will like travel and replay where he came from. So you can do like sick mix-ups and things like that. And he won't do the follow-up. So you'll be able to go for like crazy, tricky like visual mix-ups. And like, man, the character has a lot of those mix-ups. So he also has a move called like Rush. He is like doing like a rush attack. And it does like a nice knockdown. He has a lot of cool like cool specials and stuff like that. He also has every character has 3 ultimates, 2 level 1s and 1 level 2. First one, he throws a super projectile that kind of like boomerangs, and he can kind of get a follow-up afterward, which is pretty damn awesome. And then he basically has like the Sugemu Whistle. Basically he like has mad clones, and he just go like really insane on you, and you really just have to guess which after images he's going to do and which one he's not. And it's pretty hard to tell, just because of how much is going on. You got to think about like having the assist in the game too, how chaotic that sounds. Also, we have Run It Back. I haven't really seen a lot of people use this super, but this super is actually pretty good. It's really good damage. Aesthetically looks mad cool, and yeah, like a lot of people, I feel, use a lot of the time window as much, so I didn't really get a chance to really see this level 2 alt. I like his S2 a lot. I feel like his S2 alone just makes him stand out as a character. Really cool. And basically it's just going to do explosive damage and great left, right, high-low, unseeable mix-ups. Alright, next we have Ahri. Ahri is basically like your baby Magneto. She's super crazy with unique movement. That is her big uniqueness. And she just moves. She has like a tri-dash that she can mess around with. Foxfire basically is really good. She has 3 orbs. And basically how it works is when she uses them, she only gets 3, but she gets to charge up and re-summon all 3 of them. So you have to be very wise with your resources with that. But to be honest with you, when she has 3 of those out, she is one of the deadliest characters in this build. So literally out of the 3, she is definitely the biggest danger. Which is pretty crazy, because you know, any character that has like crazy movement like this, I don't think has ever been bad. So when I seen something like this, I was like, oh, so she's the best character design, huh? Nice. She can like keep you still, so she can like do something and then cancel it with the fire blast and like, you know, go for like high and low mix-ups. And on top of that, with assists is like kind of crazy. Her ultimate, so she has like the orb deception, basically, you know, throws the projectile. Pretty straightforward. She has a level 2 that I think is really good. Pretty cool aesthetically. She also has her S2, which is the rush, the spirit rush, where she rushes at you and, you know, do pretty good damage. Honestly, I feel like a lot of people really just use a lot of her Fox Spirit, like honestly, just kind of breaking it down a little bit. Like I didn't get a chance to really play him as much, but I've watched a lot. But a lot of people really are just mastering like doing all of her Foxfire, basically just like, you know, throwing them and going for mix-ups. And usually when the combo ends, they're using the assist so they could charge it back up and then keep the pressure again. So any character that basically does that, basically really keeps her offense very oppressive. If you don't have meter to get her off you, good luck. Mr. Project D himself, Darius. Darius is literally, it's what you think, man. He is a super like mid-range brawler. Like he gets the job done. I think for me, he was the most outstanding character in this build. Surprisingly very good. I didn't really expect this character to be as good, but man, I feel like for as simple as he is so good. So he has a mechanic called like Wound, right? And basically, and this is what you're gonna kind of get what I'm talking about. And basically, if he hits you like in the max tip of like his moves, it inflicts wound. And basically, when you do like block strings into like specials, it like does chip. It does like massive chip. The only way for you to get wound off you is to hit him. That's crazy when you think about it like that. They take extra block damage, even from normals. And you're literally just think about a character like Ahri. Bring the orbs out, and you're mixing, and while you're blocking, you're losing. You're actually losing so much. So he brought a lot to the table. But let's go ahead and talk about his special. So he has really solid normals. He has a lot of moves that do a lot of follow-ups. So he has a lot of moves that just do like multi-hitting. So he'll do like S2, S2, or S2 back S2, or S2 down S2. So he has like a lot of follow-ups in terms of like that. He has like a move where he like he swings his axe at you, and then he pulls you in, and he could go for like a command grab, or he could go for like a headbutt. And the headbutt is like 0 on block, and it pushes you back. And because the reason why this is so good is because of the pushback. Most characters that obviously you see right here don't have a lot of range. So like his 0 on block is like stronger. It's like way more average. It's way more above average than most of them. So that's what kind of like stands out. Like he really forces a lot of options out of the opponent. And you don't have meter, you're pretty much going to be blocking for like 99% of the map. Pretty crazy. He has a super where he basically he like slams his axe to the ground, and he slams it, and then he does the follow up. He has another which is his SS1. His SS2 is the one where he like swipes his axe at you, which is pretty crazy. That is really good because you can just combo off of like S2. So you do like S2, S2, and then you do the follow up super, and then like boom, gone. Combo routes are pretty easy too. I would say he's literally the easiest character in that build. I think Darius might be the popular character when people get their hands on. His level 2 super really good at closing games because of just the damage and how easy it is to get into it. I would say like he had one of the coolest supers. So yeah, those are the 3 characters. Now my thoughts on the game is, again, like I was really hesitant about it just because it's like easy inputs and things like that. And it's not that I'm against easy inputs, I'm not, but the problem is when you get people into the game, which is cool. It's like, well, what about the people who are like playing constantly? Like, what about that niche audience? And I always think that finding a balance for both is always good. It's always good. And honestly, I think that for what they did for a lot of characters, they really made it where you kind of forget that there's like easy inputs or just simplified buttons and no motion inputs. So, I really like that. My biggest issue, honestly, was a lot of the options that I was trying to do. I always accidentally inputted super because of down inputs. They also have this mechanic called like the core mechanic. You get to choose how you kind of want to play. And one of them is like 2 assists. So like you get to do your assist twice while it's out. So usually, how like, you watch like a regular game, you see the assist come out and just do an attack. Well, think about it like Dragon Ball FighterZ, right? Imagine Goku comes out, do a Kamehameha. Well, he could do another Kamehameha. So he could do Kamehameha, Kamehameha. There was 4 of them that was in the build. 2 of them, I feel like that was like the most played. The last one, I feel like it was not played as much just because all of the other cores, they didn't really have a letdown besides the one I was just talking about. So like 2-time assists. When you do your assist, usually it takes like 2 seconds to come back. But for that, it takes 4 seconds to come back. Obviously, that's not really good in a team game. Another one was called Freestyle. So Freestyle, I think this is what everybody is going to kind of play. Especially if you're playing characters that can go into left, rights real quick and basically like do like cool mix-ups. And the cool part about this is like you can also play duos. So you can actually team up with your homie and like play the game. So how duos work is your partner who is like sitting out, he can control when the assist comes out. Basically, the person in the front can control whether or not he tags you in. If you call an assist, he can friendship tag. I feel like a lot of chemistry for like teams or like from friends has to be very on point in a game like this. But the reason why Freestyle stands out so well, especially with duos, is because Freestyle allows you to do a friendship tag twice. Or a handshake tag. So when you do an assist, that's a handshake tag. And then you could do something and then do another handshake tag. So you could actually rotate that twice. So that's why I think freestyle is going to be so strong. Just because if you get able to get on the other side of the screen, you can like do like sandwich mix-ups and things like that, which is really, really insane. There was one that I think, if I'm not mistaken, when you do level 1, you can actually do level 1 and then you can tag your teammate and do another level 1. So that's actually a fuse that you have to select. You cannot do that without that fuse. You don't share meter in this game. You actually, 2 of your characters have to eat different meters. So, you know, I think that's a pretty interesting thing with that fuse. So you're going to be able to do like crazy damage and things like that. If you play the same team, but you different fuses, the playstyle is different. My biggest gripe, honestly, is like little things. Like when you're fighting for your life, you have to kind of press like forward to kind of get your assist to kind of like help you. Sometimes when your forward assist is really good. So, you know, being in a situation like blocking for your life is really rough in that aspect. So I really hope that they find, you know, alternatives to kind of like adjust that. I feel like a lot of times when I'm in a situation where I'm like fighting for my life, you know, I couldn't really like, you know, block all day because I'm in the corner. And for order for me to get out is, you know, I have to spin a bar to get out. But if I don't have that bar, then what do I do? You know, and I feel like a lot of situations, the characters that I was playing in the build were really stuck to that. They were really like just lost in that situation. So, you know, little things like that I think obviously can be improved. That has nothing to do with just the final build. If anything, I'm sure they're going to make adjustments, and I hope that we continue to get more information by this game, because I really truly believe that this game can prove me wrong. I think this game can actually hit the middle ground perfectly. I think they have a lot of great people on the team doing so to allow this to happen. I believe in the leadership for the team as well. I think my biggest hope right now is don't rush. Like, take your time. Like, greatness takes its time, you know. Greatness is never rushed. And I want this to be a great product. And I want this to be, you know, the best fighting game with the Allfathers who made the greatest netcode in the world. So, with that being said, you know, I want this shit to thrive. I want it to like be successful. I'm really excited. And I want you guys to let me know how you guys feel. Are you guys looking forward for this game? Are you guys really excited for Project L? Do you guys think that, you know, this company is not going to really put a lot of passion for the fighting games? I personally think that they will. I really think they really care about the fighting game community and just getting people on board as well. And how do you guys feel about, you know, motion inputs are kind of gone now officially? Do you guys think we really need it now? You know, again, playing it and having a lot of stuff being done while I'm playing, you know, I thought we needed like motion inputs, but you know, they kind of proved me wrong that you could do you can have a lot of stuff in the game and without having motion inputs. So I will be updating a lot on Project L. I really hope you guys are excited for how amazing this game is looking now. Like, I feel like the upgrade for the glow up was, whoo, chef kiss. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.